are doing something to me, not only anybody, even to my family members, relatives, anybody else. Because I know we are all gods. Because I know, I didn't tell you, but I know everyone is a god. Okay, let's stop for some time, then we'll start. Okay, I have no issues. Okay, so let's continue, folks. Online people, if you have any query, please let me know through chat box. Okay, because you can't unmute yourself. You can't unmute yourself. Okay, so please let me know through chat box so that I can give you the option so that you can speak to me. Okay, na? Right. So let's start with that. See, first thing is I just want to open the document so that we can identify yours is this is yeah. Okay, right. So now we'll continue. Shall we? Shall we continue or shall we wait for some time? Shall we continue? Sure. Good. Thanks. Thanks. See, we are now going to, we are not going to discuss. This is in the last class I told about how do you fetch the records from the database, right? How can we able to fetch the records from the database? Okay, come to the point. But in all these examples, our database is Oracle. But today, actually, we are going to start with the prepared statement. But before we start with prepared statement, uh, before we start working with the callable statement and all these things, let us change our database. Of course, we can also use Oracle. It is not a problem. I can say Oracle or MySQL. It doesn't matter. Our application code remains the same, but you need to change the driver class, and you also need to change the database URL and username and password. Okay, so only these values if you change and class path if you change, then you can able to connect your application from one database to other database, because only what changes are required. Driver class name should be different, URL should be different, username and password are different, and also the jar file different, because we included in the last examples what OJDBC dependency, nothing but OJDBC jar is added to the class path. But for MySQL, it will be different one, because the MySQL driver, Oracle driver, PostgreSQL driver, they are different softwares. So they have different jar files. Only that jar we need to add as a dependency, and the driver class name, URL, username and password to the database will be different. But suppose if you look at connection, statement, result set operations like rs.next method, otherwise getInt, getString, these are common. So whether you are working with Oracle database or whether you are working with the MySQL database, but these things are common, right? We don't have any changes required for that. Only the changes are database properties are different, driver properties are different simply. Okay, right. So today, from today, we are going to use MySQL as a backend, and till we complete these JDBC sessions, we are going to use MySQL as a database now. Okay, I think all of you guys are having MySQL. If not, just I just want to tell you a little bit idea, like from where you can download and which one you can download. And second thing is, at the time of downloading, because I cannot uninstall my database and I cannot show it to you today, because I need this database for my Spring class. Okay, for my Spring Boot and Microservices batch, this database is required for me. I have already tables, I have already records, I have already database, everything is there. If I uninstall, again I should recreate all of them. That's why I'm not uninstalling and I'm not showing you the installation process, but I can guide you like this is the process you follow so that you can able to install the MySQL. If you have already MySQL, which is well and good, you can directly work with that. Okay, make sure that your MySQL is a 8.x version. Don't use 5.x version. Our applications does not connect with 5.x. Our applications only will connect with 8.x version. Any 8.x version, MySQL 8 could be 8.0. Anything else. 8.0.5, 8.0.23, 8.0.32. So doesn't matter which dot version is 8.x. That's it. That's enough. So that we can able to connect our application with the MySQL database and we can able to work with the MySQL from our applications. Okay, look at this. So basically today we want to change our database. Okay, we want to change our database. So I'll explain. Please, guys. I saw your questions, but you will get answers to my explanation now. See, first I want to get confirmation. Okay. Do you guys have MySQL database server installed in your machine? Online people first. Online people. You will get all these answers, okay? All these answers you will get. Some of the people are asking question. I'll tell you how to find out which version of MySQL you have. Do we need full version or half version? So these things I'll explain. I'll explain that, don't worry. So, yeah. We will check that. Yeah. So almost multiple of you guys said yes. So hope you guys already having MySQL database in your systems. Do you have MySQL in your system? MySQL is installed already? Cool. So if not, for those if not, simple. You just go to Google and type MySQL community download. MySQL community download. And you can see this. This is a URL. You need to go first. Okay. If you want to download the MySQL, simply go to this URL. Okay. This is a URL from where you can able to download the MySQL. Okay. I just want to explain it in 5 minutes. Okay. Right. After going to this place, after going to this URL, after connecting to the server, now you will be getting some, okay, you'll be getting some web page like this. On this web page, you need to select MySQL community server. I repeat once again, MySQL community server. It is open source, free. MySQL community server is free server. Okay, right? It is a free server. I mean open source. In MySQL, we have enterprise server also available, but that is a licensed version. So we cannot freely download and install it. MySQL enterprise server because that is licensed version. This is free server for testing by installing our local systems. These are enough. So you have to install MySQL community server. So you have to click on this. Okay, I told MySQL is also from Oracle only. MySQL is also from Oracle company only. Okay, Oracle, MySQL, for both the databases, Oracle is only the vendor. MySQL is not from another company, and Oracle is not from other company. Oracle, MySQL both are from same company. The vendor is same. Who is the vendor? Oracle. Oracle is a vendor. Now here you can see. Here you can see. Once you click on MySQL community downloads, now currently you have the version called 9.3. Okay, 9.3 innovation change to 8.x. Any 8.x. For example, 8.4.5. LTS means long-term support version. LTS means long-term support version. Anyone is okay. 8.0.42, 8.4.5, something like that. Change to 8.x version. Okay, right? Only if MySQL is having high version, but whereas my driver is not supporting, then again there may be a chance of getting errors. That's why better to go with 8 version. Any 8 version. Go with 8.0 or 8.4, anyone, you select the version first. After selecting the version, after selecting your operating system, then you'll be having Windows x86 MSI installer. Okay, right? You'll be having MSI installer. Okay, then you are going to click on download button of MSI installer file. MSI installer. You are going to click on download button. Whenever you click on the download button, one MSI file, nothing but like exe file will be downloaded. Okay, actually next page you will get. It asks for login, but actually no need to log in. No need to log in. Directly you can click on the link here. What's the link? No thanks. Just start my download, which means what? I no need to log in or I no need to sign up. Directly I can click on the link here. What's the link provided? No thanks. Just start my download. When you click on this link, automatically what happens? Download starts. What file will be downloaded is MSI. That is called some kind of exe file will be downloaded. Okay. I can show you up to download. Okay, right? So when I click on this, I'll be getting some file called .msi file. .msi file, which is downloaded. Okay. Once it is downloaded, then we are going to install it. Just double click on this. When you double click on this, a window will start. In that window, actually partial installation also okay. But I need to show you which components you have to select, otherwise no. Okay. Simply install full version. Install what? Full version. You will get a window. In that window, you'll be having radio buttons. Server only. Okay, full version. Server only. Full version. Custom. Client only. You'll get some kind of 4 to 5 options available there. Choose what? Full version. Full version. Click on next, finish until it says successfully installed. That's it. Okay? Right. Good. Install full version. Simple answer. Install full version. It'll have to be a little bit more space in the computer, but okay. Okay, it will occupy a little bit more space in the computer, but still it's okay. We can manage that. So install full version. Okay. Now, once it is installed, once the MySQL is installed, in the middle, when the steps are going on, somebody will ask you password. Remember the password. Okay. Username is root. That is fixed. That is a admin user or root user of the database. Root user is root only, but password you can write, and your choice what password that you want to write. So I have given at the time of installation root only. Means my username is root actually, but even password also I given as root only. So that it will be easy for me to remember. Whenever I type root, it is going to say me that weak password. But it's okay. We know that because they are providing the username and password same, it's a weak password only. But still, it's okay. We can click on next and finish so that the username and password is created. So simple, once it is downloaded, then open the window, means double click on that file. Then a window will start. In that you have a version called full version. Choose the full version. Then simply next, whatever is asking, next finish, That's it. next like that. In the middle, in this process, somebody will ask you the password. You type the password there, root or whatever the password you want. That's your wish. Then click on next and finish. So that MySQL is installed. MySQL Workbench is also installed automatically because you are installing the full version. Now we are going to start working with that. Okay, so make sure that MySQL is there in your computer. Okay, right. So today we want to understand. Okay, today we want to understand. Yeah. Okay. See this, guys. We want to understand. We want to know that. We want to understand about a statement in JDBC that is called prepared statement of JDBC. So whenever I'm giving some application of the program for you on prepared statement, whenever I'm giving example today, to which database I'm going to connect MySQL database I'm going to use. Okay, right? I'll tell you. See here. Otherwise, next one more thing what you can do is once after installation is successful, after you have installed MySQL in your computer. Okay, after installing MySQL complete in your computer, you go to search box and type MySQL Workbench. What do you have to type? MySQL Workbench. Okay, so this is the client. This is one application which is installed automatically. You guys need to simply open the MySQL Workbench. Open the MySQL Workbench. Okay, MySQL Workbench. Now here, okay, here you got a page called Welcome to MySQL Workbench, and next you click on MySQL instance, local instance, and enter the password, whatever the password that you have provided. So then you will be getting a query window like this. Okay, you'll be getting a query window like this. So I need all these things. I can't. Okay. See here. I'll tell you. What I want to tell you is, yes, just a minute. Okay, keep it like this because I need all of them. Yeah. By default, what happens is in the left side schemas, actually you'll get administration page like this. Whenever you open this MySQL Workbench, you'll be getting like this. Okay, you'll be getting like this at the left side. This is called admin tab, administration tab. But you have to choose the schema tab. So which means you are going to click on what tab here? Schemas. When you click on schemas tab here, you are not going to get these many databases or these many schemas. You'll be getting only one schema called SYS. Only one schema you will get with the name SYS. Only one schema you will get. Okay, schema I mean it's a logical database. So this is only one logical database that you will get by default. Then you have to create one new database. So you can type here one command in the query window. Okay, what's the command? Create database name test. Create database name. So database name nothing but logical database name. Create database name is a command here. You can type in lowercase or uppercase, no problem. Create database. What is the database name? Test. Then press Control Enter. Control Enter means execute the command. Control Enter means execute the command. So whenever you execute this command called create database test, then test database will be created. Okay. Then you can see when you refresh here the schemas, you can see here along with the SYS, what is also visible to you then? Test is also will be visible to you. Initially only one will be there with you. What the only one? SYS. Okay, only one schema will be there by default. But after creating the test by executing this command, then how many schemas will be visible to you at the left side? Two will be visible. So which schema we are going to use? Test. Okay, right? Good. So do this work. Once again, I repeat. After once installation is completed, what you should do? After, so I have installed MySQL. Okay, I'm clicking on all the next buttons, next buttons, next buttons. I have entered some details. Finally, clicked on finish. Successfully installed. Once it is installed, what is the next step? What is the next step? You need to open the MySQL Workbench. You should open the MySQL Workbench. How can you open the MySQL Workbench? Okay, just go to Windows search button. Go to Windows search button. Type here what? MySQL Workbench. MySQL Workbench. Okay, right? Then you'll get a message called welcome to MySQL Workbench. Okay. Now tell me, local instance MySQL 80 means in my system, which version of MySQL I have? 8.x, 8.0 dot something. Okay. MySQL 8. You can click on this. Then provide the password. Then click on OK. Cannot connect to the database server because I have given the wrong password. ROOT. Okay, now it is connected. Okay, after connected to the database, this MySQL Workbench will be connected. This is one application. This application is connected with the server. So which server? MySQL server. Now, how many schemas will be shown to you by default in the left side? Only one schema will be there. What is the only one schema? SYS. But you should create new schema now. Means new database now. What's the database name? Test. How do you create it? By using a command. Create a database test. After when this command executed, control enter means execute. Otherwise, you can select this and you can click on execute icon. This is called execute icon. You can click on the execute icon, so the command will be executed. You can select the command, completely command you to select. Select the command, click on execute button so that the command will be executed. Once the command executed, which database will be created? Test database. Now go to schemas tab and verify whether along with the sys test database is also available or not. That's it. Okay, do this first. Now, I'm just going to close it. I will open it again when we are writing the code. So today we want to understand about which statement of JDBC? Prepared statement. Yeah, we'll understand about what is prepared statement. See here. Okay. Okay. See here. Actually, we know if at all we want to execute an SQL queries, first of all we should create a statement object. I know statement object. Okay. So if at all I want to execute any queries on the database, first I should create one object called statement object. Statement object I should create. I told statement object is used to send the query from my application to the JDBC driver. Okay, there is an application. My Java program is there. My Java program should send this query to driver. So driver will send this query to database and will execute there. Right? So how to send my query from my Java application to the driver? For that, I should use this statement object. Which object I should use now? Statement object. Statement object. Okay, good. Then why should I use another statement called prepared statement? So there is some advantage with the prepared statement. We'll understand that. See here. That's a requirement here. Okay. Requirement is I have created one table. Okay, I have created one table. Let's say my table name is student table I have created. For example, one table I have created. My table is what table? Student table. With columns like SID, name, marks, whatever other columns required. let's say grade. Okay, so I have created one table like this. Student is one table, and these are the columns in the table. Just now I have created one table. My requirement is now I want to write a Java program. I want to write a Java program. Now from this program, this is one Java program, and this program should insert, okay, should insert 30 records into student table. Okay, there is one Java program I am creating. What this program has to do? This program should insert how many records? 30 records into the student table with the student ID, with the name of the student, marks and grade. Okay, 30 records it should insert. Okay, which means, understand, which means, it means this program should execute. So it should execute, okay, insert query for 30 times. So it should execute the same insert query, but how many times? 30 times. 30 times the query should execute. Values are different. Query is the same query, but record values are different because student ID, student name, okay, and the marks, grade, these are different for from one student to the other student. Query, same query, but it should execute the query for 30 times with different values. Okay. Now I know there is a statement object available in Java program. I mean JDBC programs. Which statement of which object I need to use? Statement object. Statement object. So I want to use statement object. I want to use statement object. By using statement object, I want to insert how many records? 30 records into the table called student table. 30 records. Okay, good. What happens now? The problem I'll tell you. Okay, for example, first time my query, first time my query is executing on database. Totally how many times I should execute? 30. So I'll use a for loop. For I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to 30, I plus plus. Inside the loop, I'll write the logic for inserting records into table. Because how many records I want to insert? 30 records. My loop iteration started. First iteration. What the statement object is sending? Query. Which query? Insert query. Insert query to the driver. Driver will execute it on database and will give me the result. Okay, first iteration completed. Iteration number 2. Second iteration. Okay, again this query, but values are different. Values are different. Again, statement object will send this query to driver. Driver will execute it on database, will give back the result. Iteration 2 is completed. Iteration 3. Iteration 3. Iteration 3. Same. What happened? There is a Java program. Okay, iteration 3 now. this statement object will send the query to driver. Driver will execute it on database, will get back the result. Okay. Last iteration 30. Again same thing. Again same thing. This statement object will send this insert query to driver. Driver will execute on database and will send the result back. Will get back the result. Totally 30. Iteration 30. Problem is what here? What is the problem in this is? What the problem in this is? First time, my statement object is sending a query to the driver. So what statement object is doing? statement object sends query to whom? Driver. This driver will execute it on the database. This driver will execute this query on the database. Will send the query to the database simply. Okay, this driver will send the query to the database. Then after execution, this driver will get back the result from the database and will give the result back to the Java program. Okay, that's a reverse. Okay, come to the program. Come to the point here. My statement object sending the query to the whom? Driver. This driver is going to send this query to whom? Database. In the database, first my query will be compiled. First query is compiled by the database. It will compile the query first. Compiling means what? It will check the syntax of the query, whether the query is correct or wrong, any keyword is missing, or any semicolon or comma, anything is missing. It's going to check now. Because if you type wrong query, will the database execute it? No. That's why first what it will do? It will do the compilation. Compilation means what? It will check for the syntax of the query. Whether this query is insert into table name, all the keywords are there or not, values are containing parentheses or not, the string values are there, the values are kept within single quotes or not, column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, they are separated with commas or not. This is totally called what? Syntax. Okay, who will do that? Who will do that? Database. Tell me what database will do first. It will compile the query. First, it will compile the query. Okay, compilation successful. Then it will execute. Executed. Okay, understand clearly now. So tell me what database is doing first. First, it is compiling the query. Next, it is executing the query. Okay, once execution is done, driver will get back the result, and the driver will send the result to my Java program. That's it. Okay, my question to all of you. How many times my statement object is now sending the query to driver? 30 times. 30 times. Okay, what happens every time when my statement object is sending the query to driver? The driver will send that same query to database. What database is doing here? Compiling the query, then executing the query. I have a question to you. Am I sending different queries or same query? Same query, but more times. Same query will be sent to driver. Yes. Same query. Query same. Values are different, but query is same query. Same query. But tell me what database is doing? First it is compiling, then executing. I have a question to you. If the query is the same query, only values are different. In such case, is there any need to compile the query again and again? No. Because same query, na? Only what are changed? Values are changed in the query, but query syntax remains same. But still, what database is doing? It is compiling every time. So this will decrease the performance of our application. This will decrease the performance of our application. So when you want to, when you want to execute same query for multiple times, if you use a statement object, it is what object? Statement object. Then your application performance will be decreased. Okay, your application will have a performance problem. Okay, I'll tell you. So if the same query, when you want to execute many times on the database, then if you use a statement object for the execution, or if you statement object of JDBC for executing the queries, or executing the query multiple times, then your application performance will be at a bottleneck. Nothing but your application performance will be slow, decreased. Okay. Why it is decreased means because every time database is going to compile the query and database is going to execute the query every time. even though same query, but every time it is compiling. So then tell me, this is going to give me performance issue? Yes. Good. So we have a solution for this. Whenever you want to execute a query many times, then instead of using statement object, you create a prepared statement object. I'll tell you how prepared statement will give better performance. Then tell me which type of object you have to create now. You have to create the prepared statement object. Instead of using what object? Statement object. You create the prepared statement object. I'll tell you how prepared statement object will work and how it will improve the performance. Okay, I'll tell you. See here. Okay, right. Okay, come to the point here. Let us understand how prepared statement object will do that. See here. In prepared statement, see, in prepared statement, while creating the prepared statement object only, okay, at object creation time only. Which object creation time? Prepared statement object creation time. Understand this point. Understand this point, everyone. So what? While creating the prepared statement object only at the object creation time only. At the object creation time only, it will send the query. It will send the query to the driver. See, while creating the prepared statement, not execution, while creating only. While creating the prepared statement object only, it will send the query to what? Driver. This driver will send this query to the database, not for execution, only for compilation. Then database will compile. Okay, database will compile. The query is compiled. Once it is compiled code will be generated. Normally, you write Java program, you compile it. You are saying that bytecode is generated. Similarly, for SQL also, whenever SQL query is compiled, some compiled code will be created, binary code will be created. Yes. Now that binary code will be sent. This driver will get back that binary code, that compiled code, and will put it into this object. We'll store that compiled code into what object? Prepared statement object. Okay. Now tell me, after prepared statement object is created, next step. When the prepared statement object is when the prepared statement object is executing the query, it wants to execute the query. Then tell me what will be sent to the driver. To the driver, what will be sent? To the driver, what will be sent now? That compiled code. Because already query is compiled. Where is the code? That code is already in this object. Which object? Prepared statement object. Now, prepared statement object contains the query or compiled code of the query. Compiled code of the query is ready. Now, whenever it's executing the query, then tell me what will be sent to the driver? Compiled code. Then tell me this compiled code, the driver will send it to whom? Database. Now tell me what database receiving now? Query it is receiving or compiled code it is receiving. If it is already compiled code, then what database will do? Execute. Then database will execute it. Okay. then driver will get back the result of the execution and will give it to my Java application. So tell me now, how many times I want to execute this? How many times I want to execute this query? 30 times. As per our example, how many times? 30 times. Then tell me 30 times query will be sent to driver or compiled code will be sent to driver? Compiled code. Database is what doing? What the database is doing now? Is it again compiling or directly executing it? Directly executing without doing any compilation again. Now you tell me previously, how many times the query is compiled? 30 times query compiled. 30 times compiled. But here, just one time compiled. Pre-compiled. First compiled, then executed. How many times executed? 30 times executed. Now this will improve the performance. So then tell me, when should I use a prepared statement in our JDBC application? Yes. When you want to execute a query for many times, multiple times in the database, then better to use which statement? Prepared statement, so that you can improve the performance of the application. You can improve the performance of the application. So you got the reason why we are going to use prepared statement? Yes. Okay. Good. Second reason. There are two reasons. You'll understand the second reason. Reason number one is okay. Now reason number two. I'll read the statements, but first I'll explain. Okay, first I'll explain. Online people, try to understand. Okay, good. Try to understand. Second, see here. Suppose this is my database. This is my database. Let's say okay, it's my database now. Okay, it's my database now. Now this is my okay. In the database, I have a table like this, table name EMP, and columns are employee number, ENO, name. Let's say is image. I want to store his image. Let's say employee number, name, and photo. Picture. Okay. I want to store in employee table. Employee number I want to store. Employee name I want to store. And also I want to store the photo. Photo. 3 columns I have created. Employee number, employee name, photo. There are 3 columns are there in the EMP table. I repeat. Employee number, name, and photo. Photo. 3. 3 columns are there. Employee number, name, and photo. Now my requirement is I want to insert one employee into database. Okay, I want to insert employee from my Java program. From my Java program, what I want to do? From my Java program, I want to insert a record into the database table. Which table? EMP table. While inserting, what should I insert to the employee? Employee number, employee name, and photo. One record of employee I want to insert means I should insert the employee number value, employee name, and photo. Photo means what? It is an image. So in the database, its data type is blog, which stands for binary large object. blog stands for binary large object. blog. Okay, binary large object. Photo na? Okay. Whenever you want to store any images in the table or any videos you want to store in the table, right? Any videos or any images, if you want to store them, then what type of column is required? blog. It's a binary large object. Okay. And this column, okay, is a blog type of column. Now tell me, I want to insert one employee in the database with his number, with his name, and with his photo. Okay, with this image, I want to insert. Okay, suppose if I'm using statement object, which object I'm using? Statement object. Then I can't do this. I can't do this because statement object can insert text format of data, but not binary format of data. So statement object cannot insert binary format of data. Only it can insert what? Text format. Employee number, name, salary, joining date, bonus, commission, manager, something like that. Department name. This is all called as what type of data? Text-based data. Text-based data. But photo is what type of data? Binary data. So which object cannot insert the binary data into the database? Statement object. That's why you are going to use prepared statement. With the prepared statement, you can do that. With a statement, you can't do that, but with the prepared statement, you can do that. You can do that. These are the two reasons, like when we are going to work with the prepared statement object. Okay. Suppose you don't want to insert multiple records. At the same time, you don't want to insert any binary type of data. Okay, then you can use statement object. Okay, right? So there are two reasons like why we are working with the prepared statement object. Okay, two reasons are there why we are going to work with what object? Prepared statement object. Yes, prepared statement object. What are the two reasons like why we are going to work with the prepared statement object is number one, when you want to run same query but many times on the database. Okay, then use what type of object? Prepared statement object. What is the benefit of using prepared statement object? Okay, it will send the query to the database first for compilation, and then it will execute that compiled code many times. So it will speed up the application performance. Second reason, whenever you have some binary data like images or like any videos that you want to send to the database, then you can't use statement object. It doesn't support. Statement object can only send text format of data, but not binary format of data. But who can send binary format of data also to the database? Prepared statement object. Then you have to use compulsory what only? Prepared statement object. That's why prepared statement object is the most popular one. Okay. In the entire Spring, the Spring framework, Hibernate, Spring Boot, in microservices, internally, Hibernate will use prepared statement of JDBC only. So that's why prepared statement is the most popular one among the JDBC statement objects. Okay, mostly what type of statement will be used by our frameworks like Hibernate and Spring? Prepared statement object only. Okay, right. So we want to know these things first. So we did that. Now we want to, okay, then we want to talk about, the statements now. Okay, come to the point here. See, I'll talk about first prepared statement I'm talking about. I'm talking about a prepared statement. Actually, prepared statement is a child interface of statement. Means what the hierarchy? You have statement, it is an interface, and you have prepared statement, another interface. Yeah, this prepared statement is going to actually extend from statement. This is hierarchy. Means who is a parent? Statement, and who is a child? So prepared statement is a child interface of statement. These are interfaces. Okay. Prepared statement is a child interface of statement. Next, in further, after prepared statement is completed, we are going to discuss about one more statement called callable statement. Which one? Callable statement. Callable statement is a child interface of prepared statement. This is hierarchy. Totally, how many types of statements are there in JDBC? Means what is the answer? Three types of statements are there. What are the three types? Statement, prepared statement, callable statement are called types of statements in JDBC. Three types of statements are there. Statement, prepared statement, callable statement. Currently, we are discussing about what? Prepared statement. Next, probably tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we are going to discuss about what also next? Callable statement. But so far in our 2-3 examples, what type of statement we have used? Statement object. Statement object. Okay, good. First I want to write 2-3 points. I don't want a much notes for you. You have to prepare your own notes. Just only some important statements I want to write. What is that? Prepared statement is a sub-interface of statement. Is a sub-interface of statement interface. Second, okay. Second, I want to write. Okay. Second, I want to write prepared statement. Prepared statement will be used for the below reasons. Will be used for the below reasons. For the reason number one, reason number one, to send the, not to send, to execute the same query for multiple times without recompilation. To execute the same query for multiple times without recompilation. So if you want to understand this first statement, so far whatever I've explained, that should be there in your mind. Then you can understand. What I'm saying, to execute the same query for multiple times without recompilation means what will be stored in the prepared statement object? In the prepared statement object, what will be stored? Compiled code of the query. SQL query will be there. So I can execute the query multiple times. Okay. So to execute the same query for multiple times without recompilation. Second one, to send or receive images from the database. To send or receive the images from the database. Okay, right. So tell me, prepared statement will be used for below reasons. First reason is what? To execute the same query for multiple times without recompilation. Second one is what? To send or receive the images from the database. Okay, to do these two things, we must use what type of statement only? Prepared statement only. Prepared statement only. Okay, we'll start with that. Next step, I'll explain. Okay, so we are done. So to send or receive image from the database. Now, what we know is whenever we are creating the prepared statement object only, the query will be sent to database. For what? For what my query will be sent to database while creating the prepared statement only? For compilation. Only for compilation. And once query is compiled, that compiled code will be returned to the prepared statement object. So what will be stored in the prepared statement object finally? Compiled code will be there. Now you can run this code multiple times without compiling again. Suppose you have a Java file. When you compile, what file is created? Dart class file is created. What file is created? Dart class file is created. Now, if you want to run the program multiple times, do you need to compile the program again and again? Now, how many times you can compile? One time. But how many times you can run the program? Many times. To run the program, Java code is required or byte code is required? Byte code is required. Byte code is required. You compile the program for one time, you can run the program for multiple times. Your wish, how many times you want to run, you can run easily by using byte code. Similarly, the compiled code will be there in the prepared statement. So let's see how we can create the prepared statement object. See, while creating what object only? While creating prepared statement object only, the SQL query will be sent to the database for pre-compilation. Okay, while creating a prepared statement object only, the SQL query will be sent to the database for pre-compilation. Yes, it will be sent to the database for pre-compilation. Pre-compilation. The database will compile the query. The database will compile the query and will send the compiled code to the driver. Otherwise, simply the database will compile the query and that compiled code that compiled code will be stored back into which object? Prepared statement object. Simple answer, prepared statement object. Prepared statement object. Okay, let's see how it is going to work. Look at this. Let's draw like a picture and I'll add the picture here. See here, what I'm trying to say. First of all, the way how we are going to create the prepared statement object. See, prepared statement. Prepared statement. Let's say reference variable PSTMT is equal to or PS is equal to something like that. Prepared statement PS is equal to CONN connection dot prepare statement is method. Which method should call? Prepare statement. Remember the method prepare statement, not create statement. Previously, what do you know? Create statement. But today method is what? Prepare. There is another method called prepare statement. And you should send your query here. SQL query as a parameter. Okay, right. So tell me internally what happens now? Internally, what happens now? This query will be sent to the database. Okay, through driver only that we know. Through driver only that we know. Let me do that. See, through driver only, but everything that we cannot write here. What we can write is this is database. Let's say this is database. Tell me, okay, tell me this query. Okay, now this query will be sent to where? This query will be sent to the database. This is a database, obviously. So now this query will be sent to the database for compilation. This query will be sent to the database for compilation. This query will be sent to the database for compilation. So we can write like this. This query is sent to the database for compilation. Now tell me in the database, what will happen now? Query is compiled. Query is compiled. Okay, compiled. Tell me whenever it is compiled, some code will be generated. Now that code will be stored back into what object? Prepared statement object. Now I'll tell you. Now I can tell you this is the compiled code. I can write this is a compiled code. Let's say this is a compiled code, guys. This is compiled code. This is called what code now? Compiled code. This is compiled code. Say query is compiled. Query is compiled. Then tell me compiled code is created. Now this compiled code will be sent to the database. This compiled code will be sent to the object. So let's say this compiled code will be sent to the object. Now you tell me what is stored in this PS? The compiled code of the query. Okay, who is compiling it? Database. Who is sending this query to the database for compilation? Driver. So we are not writing a driver in the middle, but this query will be sent to the database. Database will compile the query, and the compiled code will be created. That code will be stored into PS. PS is our prepared statement object. Now this object is containing what code finally? Compiled code. Now we can run this code for multiple times whenever we want. Okay, let's see. First is the statement. Next. Okay, better. I will place this diagram into the document, guys. So this is what happening whenever we are creating the prepared statement object. Okay, the compiled code will be there in the PS. Next, again understand. See, my question. Tell me, while creating the prepared statement object, one query we are passing now. This query is sent to database for execution or only for compilation? Just for compilation, not for execution. This query is sent to database just for only compilation, but not for execution. That's why values are not required in this query. What are not required? Values not required. Why values are not required? Because the query will be sent to database for executing there or just for compiling the query. Just for compiling, not for execution. That's why while creating the prepared statement object, the SQL query should not contain values. It should not contain what? Values. It should not contain the values. Okay, it should not contain the values. Okay. Then what should be there? This query, okay, this query should not contain values. Okay. Then what to do? While writing the query, in place of values, we should use one positional parameter. Its symbol is question mark. What is the symbol? Question mark. Question mark is called positional parameter. What parameter? Positional parameter. Positional parameter, which is called question mark. Okay, let me show you that. First, observe it. I'll tell you. Okay, while creating the prepared statement object, okay, while creating the prepared statement object, okay, the SQL query will be sent to database only for compilation. So it should not contain values. In place of values, okay, we should substitute or we should place anything. In place of values, we should substitute or we should put positional parameters. Okay, the symbol is question mark. What's the symbol? Question mark. Question mark is called what parameter? Positional parameter. Positional parameter, it is question mark symbol. It is what symbol? Question mark symbol. We should put what parameter? Positional parameters, and positional parameter symbol is what? Question mark. Question mark. Example. I'm writing example. Look at this. Prepared statement. Example. Prepared statement. Look at this. Prepared statement. Let's say PSTMT is equal to or PS is equal to. conn connection dot. What's the method? Prepare statement. Now, what should I pass here? Query. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll first prepare my query. String SQL query is equal to, let's say my query is insert into student values question mark, comma, question mark, then question mark. You can see my query. You can see my query. Okay, you can see my query. Look at this. Now I'm going to pass SQL query here. Now you can see here. Tell me, insert into, what's the table name? Student values. But tell me, do you need values here? Now, why this query will be sent only for compilation, not for execution? That's why in place of values, we should keep what? Positional parameters. Means nothing but which symbol we have to use? Question mark symbol. So we are going to use 4 question mark symbols because the table has how many columns? 4 columns. Let's say for our example, previous example, SID, SName, marks, grade. So how many question marks I'm using? 4. So remember, symbol must be positional parameter only, means question mark only. Don't replace it with any other special character. For the only one character allowed here, question mark. The symbol is question mark only. It is called a name positional parameter. Okay, right. Come to the point here. We will see one example today with MySQL database. Look at this. Once again, everybody need to understand this point. I'll tell you that. ఇప్పుడు అర్థమైంది. చూసిన స్ప్రింగ్ లో గుడ్. Okay, let's start. Come to the point here. Okay, good. Come to the point here. Now tell me. Okay, now tell me, by this statement, my query is executed or compiled? Compiled. My query is compiled but not executed, only compiled. Yes, where is the code? Compiled code in this object. What is the object name? PS. Yes, in PS. Now, if I want to execute now, but for execution values required. That's why what you need to do is you need to set the parameters. What you need to set the parameters? First parameter means positional parameters. First parameter, second parameter, third parameter, fourth parameter. First parameter, student ID. Second parameter, name. Third parameter, marks. Fourth parameter, grade. Okay. Then you can execute. See. Look at this. Working with the prepared statement involves 3 steps. How many steps? 3 steps. Number one, prepare the query or preparing the query. Second one, parameter setting. Third one, executing the query. So working with the prepared statement contains or involves how many steps? 3 steps. What is the first step? Preparing the query. Second step, parameter setting. Third step, executing the query. Tell me what step is completed? Preparing the query completed. What is the next step? Parameter settings. Okay, how many parameters are there? 4. So we should call setx methods. Okay, we should call setx methods, setreflex methods for parameter setting. For which setting? Parameter setting. Which methods going to call? Setx methods. Example, pstmd ps dot, change the color. Let's identify it clearly. ps dot setting top 1 comma 101. What is 1? What is 101? 1 is the index. First parameter index 1, 0. It is not array. If it is an array, then I can start with 0. It is not array. It is a column index. Column index means position parameter 1. 1 comma 101 means ID is 101. Student ID. Next one. Next one. What now? ps dot set string of 2. Let's say some student name. Let's say, for example, John. Student name. Next one. ps dot set string of 3 comma 690 marks. ps dot set string of, okay, it is set string is common method. Otherwise, I can use set int because marks generally integer. Next, set string of 4 comma grade. For example, A plus. Okay, these are called setx methods. 1, 2, 3, 4. What are these 1, 2, 3, 4? They are the index of the parameters, positional parameters. Positional 1, positional parameter 2, 3, and 4. So tell me how many steps are involved while working with prepared statement? 3 steps. First one is what? Preparing the query. Done. Second step, parameter settings. Done. Last one, executing the query. Executing the query. So same as usual. To execute the query, 2 methods are available. For the 2 methods, execute update method or execute query method. It is a select operation or non-select operation. The query is a select or a non-select? Non-select, not a select. If it is not a select, then which method we should call? Execute update. Then you should say ps dot execute update. Update. ps dot execute update. Okay, right? We should call setx methods for parameter settings. After calling that, then you should call execute update. You know, execute update method returns what? Integer value. It indicates what? Number of rows affected to the database. Number of rows affected in the database. How many rows are affected in the database now? 1 row. 1 row. 1 row inserted, means 1 row affected. You can store the result into integer variable. What you can write here? Int some variable I or x something equal to like this. You can write if you want. If you want, you can do that. You can do that. Count I int x something like that. Whatever you can. If you want. Otherwise, you can leave it. Otherwise, we can leave it. See here. First. Okay, we'll try. See here. We want to start writing one program using prepared statement. First, today we are only just inserting by using preparing the query, parameter settings, executing the query. So that next we'll see how to insert the image to the database. At the same time, how to receive the image from the database. How can we send the image to database? How can we receive the image from the database? Sending the image, receiving the image, these are also possible only with prepared statement, but you can't do it with statement. So your previous statement object cannot send an image or cannot receive image. Yes. I will do one thing. What I will do is, okay, what I will do is, first I want to, okay, first I want to go to MySQL Workbench. I want to go to MySQL Workbench. Now, see, previously which database we have created? Test. To use the database, you should use a command called use test. This is a way to use the database. Control enter. Okay. Once again, tell me which database you are using. Test database you are using. Or the command to use it? Use test. Is it for creating the database or it is for using the database? Using the database. Use this database for executing your queries. Okay, I want to create. Let me check what tables I have. Okay, I don't have any table called. No problem. See here, create table student. Okay, columns SID int primary key. Next, S name varchar of 20. Marks int grade varchar of 10. Now tell me how to execute this query. Select this total query. Then you have an icon here. For the icon, execute. You can click this. Otherwise, you can press Control Enter. Control Enter. Now you got the green button here, right mark, which means this command is successfully executed. Means a table is successfully created. Which table is ready with me? Student table. With how many columns? 4 columns. SID, S name, marks, grade. Now select star from student. You can see I have the columns, but I don't have the records. Now we can see that I don't have records. Okay, you can see that there are 4 columns are created: SID, S name, marks, grade. But currently, do you have any records in the table? We don't have any records. Table is empty. Table is created, but no records are available in the table. Now, what is our next step? We want to write the program for inserting some records into the table. Using which statement? Prepared statement. Using prepared statement, we want to do that from our JDBC program. From our Java program, we want to use prepared statement for inserting some records into the table, right? So who is our database now? Is it Oracle or MySQL? MySQL. Okay, listen here. The database is MySQL. Then you have to use different driver. This is called MySQL driver. Yes. So I'll tell you. The driver class name is com.mysql.cj.jdbc.driver. This is the driver class name. Driver class name. Understand? Next, look at this. JDBC : MySQL : / localhost : 3306/test. This is the database URL. ROOT root. This is the username. And suppose whatever the password you have given, you have to enter. I have given root. So this is the password. Okay. Observe here. So tell me, okay, loading the driver is compulsory or optional? Optional. In standalone applications, it's optional. So it's optional step. Okay, but better to know the driver class name. Coming to URL, what is JDBC? JDBC is the API my Java program is using. What is MySQL? Database to which it is connecting. Next step. What is localhost? Location of the database. It is running on my local machine. If the database is in your own system, then we are going to type what? Localhost. What is 3306? Port number for connections. What is the test? Database name. What is the database name? Test. Do you know what we have typed for Oracle? JDBC : Oracle : /tin : localhost : 1521 : XE or ORCL, whatever. See, what is JDBC? is a API used by Java. Oracle is a database, and their driver name is called thin driver. That's a given by Oracle. Localhost is the location of the database. 1521. It's a port number. Oracle listener port number for connections. XE is the database name. XE is the database name, logical database name, or schema name. Any name we can type. Similar to that, here also we have the values now. Okay, right? So tell me, if at all I want to connect from my Java application with the MySQL database, then I should use this driver class name, I should use this URL, I should use this username, and I should use this password. Then tell me, what the connection statement? Okay, I told the driver loading. Loading the driver is compulsory or optional? Optional. Of course, still if you want, you can write. How about the statement? Class dot per name. Class dot per name. Com dot MySQL dot CJ dot JDBC dot driver. Driver. Next connection. CONN equal to driver manager dot get connection. How many parameters we should pass? 3 parameters. First one is the URL. URL, you know. Next, username, then password. Password. So once this connection is created, then tell me today in our example, I mean in the next example tomorrow, are we going to use a statement object or are we going to use prepared statement object? Prepared statement. We are going to use prepared statement object. Prepared statement object. Prepared. Prepared కాదు prepared. Yeah. Prepared అంటే నేను మళ్ళీ దానికి వేరే మీనింగ్ తీయాల్సి వస్తుంది. లాగ్ కాదు, ఇంకో నేమ్ ఉంది దానికి. కనెక్షన్ డాట్ ప్రిపేర్ స్టేట్మెంట్. Okay, pass your query, your SQL query, but pass there. Okay, so tell me, once connection object is created, next in the previous examples, what object we created after this? Statement object we have created. Statement object we have created. But now today we are creating what type of object? Prepared statement object. Prepared statement object we are creating. Object name can be PS or PSTMT. Different people use different name. It's not a matter. Let's say we are going to use with PS. Okay. And once it is done, this is called preparing the query. Sorry, preparing the statement. Once preparing the statement or query, next step is parameter setting. After parameter setting, next step is execution. So how many steps are involved here? 3 steps. 3 steps. Okay, remember all these values so that we can start writing the code. Our example from tomorrow to work with the MySQL database server. We are going to connect with MySQL. We'll see how to insert the records, how to insert the images, how to retrieve the images, all these kind of things we are going to discuss. Okay, now? Right. That's it for today. We'll continue tomorrow. Thank you. Can we use? Yeah, just a minute, guys. I'm just wanted to 1 minute. Yeah. If any have any query, please let me know. Okay.
Sir, in Oracle driver name we are using thin, right? But in MySQL we are not using any driver name.
And no need of using. They have given the URL like that only.
Okay.
Okay. So that is the URL that should be used to connect with the database.
But by the installation purpose, sir, we are already using MySQL of a custom some
okay,
of
that
the
is enough,
part
sir.
of the
That is
MySQL.
enough. I told you, that is okay. No need to go for full version. Custom is also okay.
Okay, sir. But then what is the difference between custom and full?
There are many applications, boss. There are many applications are available in MySQL full version. MySQL full version contains what? Java driver to connect Java to MySQL. Also contains .NET driver to connect from .NET to MySQL. Also contains C++ driver. So many are there.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, good.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Just a minute.
Sir, I have a query. I have seen many places, like yesterday, you had defined like the connection phone equal to null, statement equal to null. Okay. And sometimes I have also seen connection phone and semicolon, statement, semicolon. So what is the difference? Why do we initialize with the null value? If we don't put a null value, then what the impact it would have? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, you are audible.
But no, sir is not responding.
Things are not speaking.
Okay, I was with the somebody is asking some big question, I think.
Yes, sir. Yeah, just I was asking yesterday that you had defined the connection and statement object equal to null. Okay, and sometimes I have seen that in the program that people just mention connection equal to semicolon. So what is the difference between two?
No, that
Like,
depends on, see, if I want to use the same variable in multiple blocks, I should declare the variable outside the block.
no,
Suppose
just
I have a
without,
variable.
and just I want to null equal to null or, and equal to null. What is the difference?
Lot of difference. CONN equal to null. Then I'm starting
Yes.
try block. Right?
No.
Then I'm starting try block because I want to use this variable. Listen, I want to use this variable CONN. I want to use this variable CONN inside the try block. The same variable I also want to use in the finally block.
But if I don't put the null?
Okay, right? You know how to use local variables? Local variable.
Yes.
Okay, if you want to use any local variable, first of all, you must put some value to the local variable, then you have to use it.
Okay. If I
inside
don't
the method, if you create any variable, it is for local variable, right? Local
Yes,
variable must be initialized before use.
Okay.
Without initializing, if you directly use a local variable, then it is going to give you a kind of error. Local variable must be initialized. You'll get error like that. If it is an
No,
instance variable, if you create this inside a class, then it will by default set the value null.
Okay.
Because that is instance variable. But if you are creating inside the method, it is going to become local variable, right?
Oh, okay. So you are saying if it is a local variable, then it must be
Then we
initialized
must set the value. First, we must initialize some value before we use it.
Okay.
That's what we
And
are
the
setting.
class will by default define the null value in the class
If
level.
it is instance variable.
Okay. If it is instance, then the class will by default
Yes.
assign the.
Inside the class, if we create it, by default, reference variables contains null.
Okay. And as such, there is no big difference between both.
Yeah.
Because someone saying that if you don't assign the null value, then it will behave abruptly while running the program. That's why we should always adopt the practice to define it with the null value.
No. They are not the reasons. They are not the reasons.